Please note that this is just a review of the final work and is not an endorsement of the creator. Any opinion or prior actions belonging to the creators involved are not a factor in this review unless otherwise stated. Thank you.
Hey guys, StarCraft here, and today we're getting into the final stretch as we're on the second to last of the Tales of the Dark Multiverse One Shots. We go over Infinite Crisis by James Tynion IV and Aaron Lopresti, my favorite of the books. We open up with a goofy looking artwork for Tempest. Ooh. Yeah, but otherwise the artwork on this is good, as we have him, of course, summarize everything. He summarized not just the event, but everything that led up to the event. Because why is this the point of divergence? Well, quite obvious, since it's focused on Blue Beetle. We instead focus on Ted when, Nextdoor is ready to kill him and give him the choice. Some people would always ask, why didn't Ted just agree so he can undermine Max? It didn't match the original Blue Beetle's politics, which was one of those, what's it called? That type of politics, that's an absolutist. He was not an absolutist. But in this version, he was, as he then uses that opportunity to knock down Max, point the gun right at him, but in this version, he kills Max. And then he's able to talk to Brother I and talk him down. And then Sasha from Checkmate shows up, and basically they explain everything. And because of this, things start to change. At first for the better. At first, as we see Booster running to the Justice League to tell him about something, up with Ted. You guys basically left him to defend for himself, and basically as they're all dismissive. We then find out that Ted, because he was trying to connect the dots beforehand, which is what led to him confronting Max. We find out there's a bigger picture going on, and I think even Max knew. So, using Brother Eye's help, he's able to find the Injustice League as basically what seems to have Lex Luthor in charge. We know later on it wasn't. He abducts the Secret Six. Is able to get a hand on the Eclipso gem and send it off. Then he also is able to meet up with Shazam, give him some warning about the Spectre, because asking questions, he was able to find out, wait, something's not right here. Then utilizing the OMAC tech and goes on to Rand and is able to stop the Rand-Sanagar war. And then he goes to Batman, basically saying how, I'm trying to do what I can. You can judge me, but you're one to talk. You do your own type of thing. I just ask you to trust me on this one, alright? Because when Batman's glaring at him, it's like, it's time Bruce Wayne, and maybe it's time Bruce Wayne answers for the large number of crimes you committed in that cowl. Or you keep your distance and let me work. Showing that Ted is starting to get a bit on the darker side, but not all the way there yet. And when Booster meets up with him, Ted still feels like, still an ordinary guy doing all this, alright? Just trust me. But it's like Booster is trying to give him the benefit of the doubt initially until Ted reveals he killed Max, which stuns him. But again, Ted makes it clear, like, I'm trying to do what I was trying to stop Max. That's what I had to do to save people. Things like that. And Booster flies off. It's clear he's not sure what's going on. Ted and Sasha and Checkmate make their way to where they find the real Lex Luthor as Mockingbird, and he's dead. Very gruesomely. Then we see the other Lex, the Injustice League Lex, show up. Then someone speeds by killing Sasha and all the Checkmate troops, revealing to be Superboy Prime, and that Lex is Alexander Luthor. And he's basically explaining everything to the Ted, trying to convince him to join up because he's already ruined enough of their plans as it is. And Superboy Prime makes his own big statement. And basically now they're trying to say, like, hey, we should work. Ted tries to say we should work together. And of course, Alexander says, you people haven't earned it. Then Ted tries to make an ultimatum or declaration to them about, look what I've done. I'm able to do so much more. Then it's revealed he wasn't talking to Alexander. He was talking to Prime, who's starting to question things. Then, in the one thing I do not care for in this, Alexander Luthor reveals that he has a kryptonite gun that's powerful enough to kill them. As Earth's 2 Lois and Superman show up, it's confused by what's going on, and Alex kills them. Where the hell did he have this gun? James, if you ever see this, I doubt you will, but if you ever did, this is the one misstep. I hate to say it because nowhere was ever implied or hinted off at, and it just felt like, yeah, it came up just for the sake of this moment to take out Superman, Earth 2 Superman, but yeah. He then points to that Superboy Prime, who then fries him. That makes sense. And then, yeah, Superboy Prime is devastated, but Ted says we can fix this all. To which it seems like initially Superboy Prime's willing enough to listen. He tells him to deconstruct the tower and bring it to checkmate. As Ted starts studying everything, he then asks Brother Eye to figure out how, tell me who needs to stop to put the world at peace. And Brother Eye, being Brother Eye, of course, determines the heroes. Every time they get involved, a crisis happens, and the fewer heroes, the less likely there is for a crisis. And Ted is now starting to listen. That's how distraught he is. As he's starting to put his own plans into action, Superboy Prime wants to deal with Connor, Superboy, but he basically says, like, I need you to take out a target for me, and then I need you to round up the teen heroes of Earth. I want this done humanely, but it must be done. We start getting a similar moment to the opening issue of Infinite Crisis. The League satellite, the JLA watchtower is damaged. They show up, and Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman show up. Although in this case, they're talking about Ted, obviously, as they're hearing fights going on in Kansas. Obviously, everything's been stepped up a bit as Superboy can't help himself, and he starts attacking Connor. Ted shows up using the similar to what Superboy Prime would make from the Anti-Monitor's corpse, his own armor. That's a OMAC armor, as he starts fighting the Trinity. Yeah, he's basically the One Beetle Army Corps. And he starts fighting them all, but it turns out he just needed to infect them with the nanites, and they're all transformed. Meanwhile, then, Superboy, Ted contacts Superboy, and basically saying they resisted. And once he realizes, yeah, this isn't going to work, he then infects and transforms Superboy Prime as well, taking him off the board. As then he starts having all the Omex start attacking, and Ted and Booster finally shows up, basically saying how, look what Superboy Prime did. Ted said it was a mistake, but you realize how close we are to winning? Brother Eye keeps on trying to convince him, just take them all out. He won't ever understand. Booster trying to get through to him, saying it's manipulating you. It's something you never recognize. As he pulls out a gun on Ted. But then Brother Eye takes over the suit and kills Ted and Booster, devastating Ted even further. Yeah, his mind snaps. Until then finally, Brother Eye says, well, the work remains unfinished. You need the cold logic to do it. And Ted is so distraught he's convinced himself that Booster would accept it. To which then he opens himself up to Brother Eye, and Brother Eye slowly takes over and finishes everyone else off. As we end this story, finding out how there's just nothing but Omex flying around, and Booster and Ted is completely robotic. Ending this one, and I love this. Infinite Crisis is one of my favorite stories still, and this right here, it takes everything about it, and it all makes except for Alexander with the kryptonite gun. Everything in this makes sense. Plays out fine. Shows that, yeah, if Ted was around, it doesn't guarantee things would have gone better. Granted, it's because the Dark Multiverse is twisted, but in this one, I feel like it played out. It could have played out this way if they were willing enough to do it, obviously. But this kid does not feel like this is all because of the Dark Multiverse. It's not like what happened in Blackest Night or Nightfall, where all of a sudden these big twists come out to just throw a wrench into everything. No, this is more like Death of Superman, where it basically, because of how the nature of the story, it led down to that route in a way that makes sense. So yeah, that's this particular story. Tune in tomorrow as I finish this off with the Teen Titans, the Judas Contract. Catch you guys later.